guys, what's up? It's Joe Reddy from Reddy's Rides. I'm back here at Loki Infiniti because we have a special, recently traded in pre-owned car that is the first time that we have featured this car on Reddy's Rides, and you guys have asked for it. I have a Tesla Model X. This is the P90D, and guess what? It's got Ludicris mode unlocked on this. So let's talk a little bit about Tesla. Tesla's really doing something that no other car company has done in quite some time. They're really changing the way that we look at transportation and moving us from one place to another. All of their cars, whether you go the Model X or the Model 3 or whatnot, all full EV, but these electric vehicles all have that little extra something that we want, and that is personality, style, and of course, that final P, performance. It all started with the Tesla Roadster and really has grown into this car company that really is changing not only how we look at EVs, but also the other manufacturers. This being Tesla's first SUV has so many unique features to it that really separate it from the rest of the crowd. So let's go ahead and dive into this Tesla Model X P90D. So right off the bat, you can see that branding that's going on when it comes to Tesla style. Very aerodynamic, and for an EV car, that is something that's important. It needs to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. I really love the very, very slim LED headlights, the way the hood kind of folds down to meet the front fascia. You have your lower fog lamps, functional air curtains on the side. As we come across the front, there's no grille. No grille to speak of. You do have an opening here that would kind of simulate that grille, and down lower portion of the front fascia, you do have this lower lip spoiler that's integrated, but that Tesla logo, that Tesla name really fits the whole brand perfectly. But I love all the little design elements, the way that this chrome piece drops down to form the base of the T in there and comes back up. Very nicely done. Now, as we go up onto the hood, beautiful shape. As it kind of waterfalls down, you have two peaks, one on each side. Looking out the front windshield is something to behold in this car because it's like nothing you've ever seen before. I can promise you that. Now, as we come around the corner here, you can see what a style of wheel that we're working with. So this is a 22-inch wheel. It's actually 265 on the width and a 35 series tire. Massive calipers with the Tesla logo on it. And to fit those calipers, a very large rotor as well, because think about it, 0 to 60 in Ludicris mode is 3.2 seconds. This thing's got plenty of go, but you're also going to want to slow down eventually, and definitely with that brake setup, very nicely done. Now, as we go into the fender, you can see the Tesla logo here that lights up, that signature badging. Nice little treatments like that. That's what a car enthusiast wants. This is really an electric vehicle for the car enthusiasts. You can see the shiny bits of chrome that they took off the front, brought it into the mirrors. And then for a roof line, I'm 6 feet tall, very, very low roof line. What's so unique about this car, and you'll see this when we get inside, is that the windshield actually curves all the way to this top portion here. No other car, truck, SUV, or anything that I know has a windshield like that. Very unique touches, nice chrome. You can see how the door handles are really not door handles. Everything is nice and flush for that aerodynamic efficiency. People have been talking about fit and finish. One place to always look is to see how the front door and the rear door handles, if you want to call them that, actually line up. And on this particular one, actually lining up really well. Now with the Model X, you can actually raise the suspension. Right now we have it in the very low setting because guess what? It just looks that sexy sitting here in this parking lot at Loki Infiniti. Nice flow to the chrome trim into that rear quarter window. And then as you can see, as we work our way back, you do have a rear spoiler that's going to raise and lower at speed or of course by the press of a button. And then when we come out back, nice clean lines. You have your P90D badging, full LED lighting, that chrome trim with the Tesla badge, the Tesla logo there. And when we drop it down, Model X and flat black on the rear bumper area. Now obviously you're going to have an electric motor at the front, electric motor at the back. Combined, 532 horsepower from those motors is going to make the 0 to 60 3.2 seconds. Why don't we go ahead, check out and see what is exactly underneath the hood of this Model X. All right guys, this Tesla Model X does use a 90 kilowatt per hour lithium battery underneath the hood. Because there is no internal combustion engine, you can see the amount of room that we're working with. And when you compare this with some other full EVs like the Jaguar I-Pace, this Tesla Model X is killing it. This is a lot of room to have up front. What's very fascinating, you'll see when we take you inside, all the doors can be actually open from the push of a button on this massive vertical touchscreen, like the hood, like the rear cargo area, but definitely very impressive to have this much room compared to other EVs that we have featured here on Rady's Rides. But while we go ahead, let's get inside this Model X to really see all the tech and the features that you're not going to find on any other vehicle. All right guys, we're in the Model X. First time I've ever sat in one of these. It is a sight to behold. Now, probably you have already seen off the windshield this 2016. They have it marked at $76,500. What do you get for that? Let's take a look at the doors. So door panels, such a unique style I've never seen. Now, remember, you do have the option to open everything manually, but from the touch screen, you could actually open and close any of the doors. I love the wood trim, the leather, nice touches, and what I'm seeing from fit and finish, things are at a pretty high level. Now, as you go from the door panel to the dash, you have Alcantara, nice stitching, really nicely done. More of that wood finish. You can see that beige tan leather interior, nicely set up. And then here really is the big talking point, besides the power of this Tesla, is this 17-inch vertical touchscreen. Everything that you want to adjust is all done through this. So you could actually go into suspension. Like I said, we have it in very low. You could actually raise this all the way to that very high standard, and that's going to give you more gap between the wheels and the fenders. You could go into driving how you want to have everything set up. Here we're going to go and put it on Ludicris, max battery power. We understand that. That's that Ludicris Plus mode. 532 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 3.2 seconds. Quarter mile in a lightning fast 11.8 seconds. If you're wondering, well, how much does this weigh? This thing weighs, it's not a featherweight, 5,594 pounds. That's about 74 pounds off of a Chevy Tahoe. But I'll continue showing you all the different settings in here. Here's what I was telling you about. When you go down to car, this is where you're going to get all your settings. So I could actually open and close the doors. If I want to open those Falcon doors, you just press that, and that's actually going to raise, and it shows you how it's raising. Now, it would be cool if this was the same color as ours, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But very clear graphics for sure. You want to open the other one, you just press that. Those Falcon doors, that's what the name is called. It only needs 11 inches of space on each side to open up fully. And then here's where you would open the front trunk and the rear trunk. Driver door, passenger door, all the different settings. You go into navigation. So if I want to get into, say I go into display, you could adjust all that. If I want to get into navigation, here's where we have our beautiful setup. Look how clear that is. Very nice and crisp. Obviously touchscreen, you can zoom in. There is Infinity. We're right underneath that arrow there at Loki Infinity. Very, I mean, and look how fast it moves around. Look at this. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So very, very cool setup that they have inside the Model X that I've just never seen. All your AC controls, you want to change AC, there's all your settings for the blower fan speed, where the air is hitting you. You got heated seats and ventilated seats, but everything is done. As you can see, there's no knobs in here. So if you suffer from anti-knob anxiety, I would not get this vehicle. But boy, if you want the latest in technology, unbelievable. Nice little cubby area here. If you're wondering, well, are there a place for my drinks? You could open that up and you could actually take these out and slide them to make them larger or smaller depending on your drink size. That to me is smart engineering. You press that, you already have a USB jack in here, plus you have it already set up with the plug for an iPhone. So you would just take your iPhone and just drop it in there. 12 volt. I also like the way it opens. I mean, watch this. Very nicely done. You have 2 cup holders over here. You have some leather padding, very nice and soft. And then these seats, they're supportive yet comfortable. Decent design. I'm not the biggest fan of beige or tan, but it works with that beautiful deep red color. And then sunroof, you don't need a sunroof. This is just all glass. Now it's been tinted, but this is all glass all the way up to this portion of the roof where, or I should say the ceiling, where you have the Alcantara. If you're wondering, well, what about mirrors? This is where you find your mirror. So you could actually keep your mirror there. If you need to bring it down, that's where you put it right there. You can fold that part up. And if you need to put it back, there you go. Frameless mirror, but why don't you get on over to the business end, because I'm telling you, there's some crazy things going on over here as well. Come check it out. All right, guys, before I show you the business end, I want to show you how easy it is to close those Falcon doors using the 17-inch screen. So I'm just going to press both sides. And very smooth, very fast, very quiet. Doors locked down. You want to come on in? I'm going to let you come on in and take a look at the business side. So when it comes to seating, obviously everything's full electric in here. There's nothing manual. Steering wheel, it's got a great thickness. It's a little on the bland side, especially when it comes to any kind of switch gear, but you do have these nice thumb rollers, which is really easy to use. And then you can see how clear that graphic is for our dash there. You have the speedometer at the top, you have your range down there in the lower left-hand corner. You, for the 2016 model year, could get almost 300 miles worth of range. When you compare that to the Jaguar I-Pace, you're looking around 230, which is quite a big difference. But definitely when it comes to having the best of the best EV-wise, this Tesla really is doing the business. Let's go ahead and check out that mid-row and see how comfortable it is for your passengers. All right, guys, mid-row time. One thing that's amazing about these gull-wing doors is getting in and out is a breeze. You definitely don't have to worry about bumping your head. And what's also fascinating is that if you look, each passenger has the same style seat. So it's not like the person in the middle gets some rinky-dink seat that's not as comfortable as everybody else. You'll notice the gloss black on the back. I'm gonna zonk this because this is probably gonna get scratched up big time, especially if you have children. They're gonna scratch the heck out of this. But from a non-zonk standpoint, it does look pretty good. I do like that. Back here, you have your little rear AC command center, 2 USBs. It's a little bit on the bland side, but this is a 2016. Seats are comfortable as can be. They are full electric assist for your passenger. You can see I just tilted it, moving it forward, all that great stuff. And another thing that's nice is I'll have Tom show you that you actually have the AC vents in the actual pillar there, which is really wonderful and nicely placed. So you're not only gonna get air from the command center, but also air there as well. And you have your beautiful Alcantara material and the Model X logo that's right there on this massive part of the roof. But why don't we go ahead, see how the back seats are in that third row of the Model X. All right, guys, you always ask for it. I'm here to deliver. Third row time. Now you push this button right here on the back of the door, back of the seat, which is gonna slide the whole seat forward. The problem is it's still a little tight, but the nice thing is you don't have a ceiling to worry about as you get in. Now, once you squeeze in back here, it's a little on the tighter side. I kind of feel like I'm in a little spaceship ready to be ejected, like an escape pod. But overall, I mean, as long as these people in front of me will move their seats forward, at least my knees aren't in my mouth, but definitely getting in and out is gonna be a little challenging because of this baby right here. But ceiling-wise, getting in, it's not too bad. Once you're in, it's on the tighter side, but you do have AC vents back here. No USB, 2 cup holders, but no USB. So Elon Musk, I want some USB in my third row. But why don't we go ahead, get to the most important part of any Radies Rides SUV test. Let's check out that cargo area. All right, guys, time to check out the most important part of any SUV, that cargo area. You press the button here, spoiler drops down, back hatch goes up. Surprisingly, with the rear seats up, you have a great amount of room. You could put your stroller, you could put some packages very easy. These seats are gonna fold down flat, which is gonna then increase the amount of space back here. And that's what's gonna make this so versatile, is that you're gonna have an all-wheel drive, over 500 horsepower electric vehicle that you can go and get your groceries, pick up the kids, and go have a blast. Speaking of having a blast, let's go get electrified and take this P90D Model X for a spin. All right, guys, we're rolling out of Loki Infinity here in Clearwater, Florida. We're in the Model X, as you are aware, on throttle. Oh my God. The acceleration from this twin electric motor Model X in ludicrous mode is ludicrous. That puts you back in the seat when you get on that throttle unlike any other car that I could think of besides a race car that I've been in. And you know me, I've done some Formula racing. That was pretty intense. I think another car, probably the McLaren 720S and 600 LT, puts you in the back of the seat like that. But definitely, you know that the ludicrous mode's been unlocked. Very smooth, very quiet. This infotainment screen is just ridiculous. I feel like I accidentally brought a tablet from home and it's just there. The one zonk that I'm gonna put on this is if you're using navigation and you're in an area where you lose signal, cell signal, you lose navigation. So think about that. If you're traveling somewhere and you're lost and you're in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna be really lost because you're gonna lose all navigation due to that running off of a cell signal. So that definitely is something to think about. The dash is so easy to look at and get your speed and everything. Looking out the front windshield, you feel like you're in a spacecraft. You really do. The big zonk is definitely going to be looking out the back. I advise not looking out the back using your rearview mirror because all you're going to see are a bunch of headrests. It almost looks like a bunch of like tombstones back there or something. It's really bizarre just how many there are. So that is an issue if you're trying to use your rearview mirror to look out the back. But as you can see, we're driving here on the highway, 63 miles an hour, nice and smooth. Visibility out the side windows is great. Side mirrors is wonderful. And then you get on it, it goes. All-wheel drive, I mean, unbelievable. And then remember, you have those massive calipers that are gonna clamp down on those rotors to help slow you down. That's the important part, is you have the balance between the speed and also the stopping power, because that's important. Using the screen though, very easy to navigate through. I would really need to borrow this car for a week for sure to figure out all the different aspects to it, because there's just so much tech here. You know, you have the autopilot, which you can set up to where it'll basically drive for you for the most part while you're going down the highway and whatnot. But being so limited on time, we have not even begun to scratch the surface of how capable this Model X is. I know from performance, it's very, very capable. And that's pretty incredible considering it weighs as much as a Tahoe, a Chevy Tahoe. So very interesting, almost as much, very close. All right, guys, we're gonna see how the Model X handles. We're going to this left-hand bend on throttle, on brakes. Brakes feel good. Good feedback coming from the front. On throttle, she goes. Wow. You get triple digits very quickly in this Model X. Now, if we're gonna be honest here, because of that weight, even with the all-wheel drive, she did push coming out of that turn, and you had to be very gingerly with that throttle. All right, guys, going through this left bend, on throttle, bringing it down. Look at this. The acceleration is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how fast. And remember, this is direct drive. You're not waiting for any revs, no boost to build, none of that. You just hit the throttle and she goes. And you can see just the front of her just lifts up, and you are in a spaceship. I think if we were able to get a ramp here, I might be able to launch us into space with this thing. Well, there already is that Tesla Roadsters in space, so we could be number 2. Very smooth though. Let's try out this left-hand bend again. On the brakes. Really good feedback though. I am liking the feedback that you're getting from the front end of this Model X. And the acceleration, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It literally is ridiculous, the acceleration that you get from this Model X. What's also fascinating with all the radar technology and everything, it's showing me the cars that are in front of me on my dash, on the display with the speedometer and the clock. I mean, this is probably one of the most technologically advanced vehicles I've ever driven, period. And definitely have featured on Rady's Rides, that's for sure. All right, guys, one more time. This left-hand bend on the brakes. Tipping in. Nice feedback, feels good on throttle. Look at this. You're gonna show up sports cars in this over 5,000 pound SUV. That's how capable this thing is. It's just downright ridiculous, the amount of torque projecting us down the road. Unbelievable. But hopefully this gave you a nice little balance. We did some highway driving. We definitely did some, hey, will she handle in a turn? And boy, does she accelerate tests. So we're gonna wrap this one up and get back to Loki Infinity, and I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one amazing time with this Tesla Model X. First time we ever had a Tesla product, and of course we went big, over 500 horsepower out of this P90D Model X. Crazy, just mind-blowing. So glad you went for the ride with us. Got to thank Paul and Nasser here at Loki Infinity, giving us access to whatever we need. They knew we needed a Tesla product for Rady's Rides, and guess what? We delivered because that's what you guys wanted. But if these are the things you want to see on Rady's Rides and keep seeing, put a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner. He was blown away by this Tesla. He's actually thinking about getting one now. So, Tom, we'll see how that works out. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.